Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to review Volume 1 of Regular Show. This is by Kaboom Comics. It is a trade paperback, as you can see. I got this from Half Price Books for $4.99. That's not a bad price, right? For especially for a trade. Um, so I will say beforehand, there's basically two books in here, and then you get some mini stories as well as covers pertaining in this. This is also the back. I really love this cover. Just so you guys know, this is a second print. So this front cover is actually from a cover of a second print of the issue one. So pretty awesome. Going into it, you got this like really cool show shot from like the credits and the intro. Volume one with Benson on the side. I was gonna say cover, but that's not the cover. Going in. It's very friendly towards children as well as people that grew up watching this show. So, retaining the first story, if you can see, I'm sorry about the camera. Um, it takes place at the park, and they're having this music festival. And during this music festival, the musicians that they hired are very boring, very much boring. So, what happens is, if we can go forward, Muscle Man, as you can see here, he gets dared to start a mosh pit. And he goes crazy in the mosh pit, as you can see. So Mordecai and Rigby both dared him. And this is where this evil mosh pit monster basically digs a hole and sinks everyone into it. That's the cool twist of regular show. It's got this other side to it. Very epic. Really cool art here. A lot of stuff goes on in here. But it's one of those cartoon books that is very well suited for the comic style. And whoever did this art is very great artist. Oh my god, is their art. This first story, whoever did this, fantastic. I believe that's issue one. Don't quote me on that. So anyway, they end up fighting this mosh pit monster guy. Or devil, mosh pit devil. And that's where things get a little crazy. I'll show you kind of what he looks like. Kind of reminds me of an alligator, but he's that green guy you see at the top right there. But they're fighting him. They actually took Muscle Man and High Five captive because that was the only reason he was living underneath the park was because of Muscle Man, because of the rowdiness. And what they needed to do was get that block out of there because Muscle Man is what basically summoned him. And as you can see, the chase gets going. And they finally they got it out, so they pulled it out. Mordecai and Rigby did, and he got skips that actually helps him as always. So that's pretty awesome that they were able to put skips in here. You know, you would think, oh, maybe they might skip out on skips, but I think it's good that they added him in here. He does add something to this. Um, anyway, they smash it, I believe, and they smash it on him, it looks like, and then he gets beaten, and then he gets sucked down into his hole again, as you can see there. And then on this side, everyone's turned back to normal. They're no longer mosh pit like monsters or demons. And yeah, they transfer back to normal. And then they forget about everything and they start throwing trash again, and then Rigby starts eating it. That's the joke in this, by the way. And then you got Mordecai over here. The next one is actually very interesting. So Mordecai is learning how to balance a rake, or he's actually doing it. And Rigby's jealous, so he wants to balance the rake as well. So he ends up doing it. He fails. He hits himself in the head with it. Muscleman comes over and is like, "Oh, my mom can do this," and then he messes up and he breaks the top of the rake. We go from there to Muscleman making fun of his hair and saying how it's messed up. This Muscleman is kind of weird up here, if you can see. his hair is very large, and I guess that's like the gimmick. As you can see, Mordecai's hair is also very messed up. That's the whole story of this one, pertaining basically that his hair is all messed up. So he goes to Pops and he gets his hair cut. And Pops is just full of joy. He's getting ready to give him a nice haircut. And yeah, what happens is Skips is like talking to Rigby about where's Mordecai. And yeah, he says, "Oh, that's the worst haircut I've ever had." And then we get this like montage of all the bad haircuts he's ever had over here. So he's got like the Washington curls, like the president's. I don't know what the actual haircut's called. It's just an old fashioned. But anyway, we move on. They both go and race to go get to him, and this is the terrible haircut he gets. From here, they try to find a actual barber, and what happens is Rigby recommends this place with only one review. And as you can tell, someone that doesn't have hair shouldn't be doing hair as a job. I'm kidding, by the way. But anyway, he goes to him, and he's very evil, and he gets upset easily. So he's in the chair, he sees his haircut, and he's like, "How can you do this to your friend?" And then Rigby's like, "Oh, I didn't do this." But anyway, the whole gimmick here is, well, I don't know if it's showing or not, but he activates this machine on this page right here. He's activating the switch, and this thing down here in this little floorway, I guess her hole activates, and what happens is you get this like mechanical machine with scissors and like all the stuff you need to cut hair that is supposedly supposed to give him the perfect haircut within his mind or heart. And it gives him this really weird haircut. So it's like forcefully giving him this haircut. Sorry if the pictures are not too clear. It's got to do with the camera as well as the lighting. Anyway, what happens is he gets the stupidest looking haircut in the world. Do we get an actual shot of it? Here it is. So you see him at the left. It's like a triangle shaped. I think they did an episode based off of something like this. I don't know if some of these are retold because I do remember some of this stuff. So don't quote me on that. But it was a nice read, for me at least. So anyway, the guy is like evil. Mordecai is telling him how crappy his haircut is. And it's going out of whack. It's going crazy because that guy's upset and he's evil. And he's like, over here, he's like conning. And then Rigby has to basically take him down and fight him. And yeah, this is the clever thing about this. So they're all fighting. The machine's taking them hostage, basically. There's not really skips in this one, towards this part. Anyway, he gets like pushed and shoved by Rigby. He falls down. And if you look there at the, where it says Pluff at the very top on the side, it's actually a piece of his butt that got cut off in this one right here. So that's the joke at the end, is talking about how someone got their butt cut off. Let's see. Yeah. So, and then it's Muscle Man, Rigby, and Mordecai all talking. And then after that, we just get some short stories. Different artists. So, this is pretty nice. You get to read a multitude of different little stories. This one is about Rigby and this ride. And whenever he's on this ride, his photo comes out bad. So they take like a bunch of rubber bands and stuff and put it on his face to make it more normal. I mean, the art in this one's kind of interesting. Not my favorite by far. This one's called Wide Awake. This is whenever they're supposed to go to a comic convention So instead of trying to wake up like normal people, Rigby gets them to try and stay up all night. And then this like night monster comes out of nowhere while they're trying to sit up all night and it's messing with them and they're trying to stay away from it and run away from it. And yeah, we don't really get an ending on that one. It's just kind of like, oh, wait, yeah, we do. In the end, Benson yells at them and they have to stay home anyway, even though they took off days to actually go to this convention. Pretty funny. Uh, this one's called Sugar Town. Now this one's pretty simple. As you know, Rigby has a brother, so he's wearing a night helmet in this one, and there's a pretty simple reason why. He's actually being took around. He's supposedly supposed to go to like this medieval thing, but anyway, we get to see his crush over here. And not only does he see his crush, but he also sees his brother with his crush. So, I believe her name is Arlene. Anyway, what is happening is that he's trying to bust them both because they hug at one point in the story, and they actually sneak in the car. Rigby does, and Mordecai has to follow by default. He keeps trying to distract him. Doesn't work while they're driving. While he covers his brother's eyes, they end up wrecking. It didn't really mess him up too bad, it looks like. I guess they just kind of just shoot in there. I didn't really pay attention too much to that detail. All I knew is that they wrecked. But anyway, it wasn't them doing some secret lover stuff. It was actually because it was Rigby's birthday and he didn't even know. So that's the end of that one. Oh, this next one, I don't really understand this one. It's kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. I'll just kind of sum this one real quick. So, Rigby is eating a lot of food and he's wasting it. And there's these freegans. They're like these little people that will eat your crumbs, kind of like mice. Anyway, they invade the house, and Skips was talking about how he knew one back in college, and in the end, they ended up knowing each other, and they tell him to go to this place where they have meatballs, and yeah, the they leave the house, so that's cool. In the end, as always, I love this. They actually have the cover gallery. So in the cover gallery, we're giving all the different covers for issue one, which I think is pretty sick. So I don't know if this is just issue one into a volume or not. It seems like it because it's just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're getting more than one book here. Now you might get two, but I think it's just one. Well, a bunch of sick covers. I'll show you some of my favorites. I think that's also a homage cover to something. Let's see, some of these are reprints. Here's the one from the cover. This is the reprint of number one. Probably one of the better covers. Oh, here we go. The A-Team homage over here with the explosion in the chains. Pretty sick. Oop. And then, oh, that's one. I don't know if I like that one much. Some of these covers are like alright. You know, I don't really want to show every single cover because I feel like I want to show you my favorites at least. At least here aren't too bad. These I'd be happy with. The space one I really like. Then you have Benson. Actually, it's a really cool detail. It's Benson and the rocket ship in the space one. I don't know. This is a really good trade. I would go and get it. Here's the live action one, which is them as actual animals, and Benson as an actual gumball machine. This is like a tattoo style on the pink one with the big cloud. I like it. Two other cool covers. You got like some medieval type stuff. Some like fictional. This one's another like live action one. And these are like the more doper ones. So you got like Benson. Sorry about my hand in the way. So Benson looks pretty cool there. This one with Rigby and Mordecai. Holding, I believe to be, oh, it's a broom and a boombox. That doesn't make sense, but I guess for them it does make sense because of their jobs. Here's one of Mordecai. Pretty sick. Got Rigby on the side. Mordecai and the Rigby's. And you got this ugly looking Muscle Man one, which I feel like a lot of people would be like, that's pretty sick. What cover is that from? Annie Hirsch. I believe that's his name. I may have said that wrong. But besides that, we end off in the same place we kind of started. That little black ending. So, if you can get this for $5, I suggest you to go and get this. Read it. It's awesome. You know, even if you have to update a little bit, it's not bad. It's Cartoon Network. And it's got some fun little stories. You can read this all in one sitting. And I think that's perfectly okay and awesome. I gotta say, on a scale of like what I would rate this type of book, I'd say it's good 8. Something you can enjoy very well. Yeah. Anyway, guys, tell me what your thoughts are about this book. Do you think you'll pick it up? Or have you picked this up and thought it was really awesome? I think they need to do a continuation of these type of books. Do some like after verse stuff, like in the future maybe. Or just like its own like one-shot type of things. It'd be cool to see some one-shots once a year or every so often. That's something I would really like is a magazine with all these different type of little comics in them that Cartoon Network did specifically. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for a little too much here. But they have a whole lot of IPs to where it would work out. But I can see where they're concerned about sales and money being dispersed among everyone to make everyone happy. So yeah. Anyway, guys, stay safe and peace.